Hello world, this is Michael G. Nastos reporting for WDEE TV Headline News, coming to you from the WDEE TV studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan. These are our 5 top stories for this Thursday, September 25th, 2014. And that top story comes from the Ypsilanti Courier and writer Nicole Seguin. The Ypsilanti Jimmy John's location is one of 216 locations in the country and one of 18 in the state affected by a possible security incident involving credit and debit card data. Customer credit card and debit card data was compromised after an intruder stole login credentials from Jimmy John's point-of-sale vendor, according to a press release issued by the company. Data was then remotely accessed via the point-of-sale systems at some corporate and franchised locations from June 16th through September 5th. The security compromise has been contained, and customers can use their credit and debit cards securely at Jimmy John's stores, the press release stated. Sales from June 16th through July 30th are affected for store 9027, which is located in Ypsilanti at 537 West Cross Street. The credit and debit card information stolen may include the card number and even the cardholder's name, a verification code, and/or the card's expiration date. Information online, such as customer address, email, and password, remain secure. We apologize for any inconvenience this incident may have had on our customers, the press release continued. Jimmy John's values the privacy and security of its customers' information and is offering identity protection services to impacted customers, although Jimmy John's does not collect customers' social security numbers. To prevent this type of event from happening in the future, Jimmy John's said they have installed encrypted swipe machines, have implemented system enhancements, and is reviewing their policies and procedures for its third-party vendors. More on this story can be found on our local news feeds link on our website online at WDEETV.com. Coming up next, our second story, Dexter deputies cite a man for drug paraphernalia possession after finding him lying in a driveway.
At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free. Morgan Taylor is located at 133 West Michigan Avenue in Ypsilanti. Clothing and accessories for men, women, and children at Morgan Taylor. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 734-221-0296. Ask about layaways and in-store financing. At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free.
We're back with another segment of WDEE TV Headline News, coming to you from our studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and my man Tony D., my producer today, doing a great job. Our next story comes from the Dexter Leader. No writer byline was given. On August 28th at approximately 9 a.m., Dexter deputies were dispatched to the 400 block of Cambridge for a person lying in a driveway. Upon arrival, deputies made contact with an 18-year-old subject, advising that he was recently kicked out of the house and had no other place to go. One of the deputies recognized the subject from a previous incident in Scio, where the subject was caught trespassing and was under the influence of alcohol. A search of that subject's backpack revealed a large marijuana bong. It was later discovered the subject had been in and out of rehab but refused to go back. A citation was issued for the paraphernalia. More on this story can be found on our local news feeds link on our website at WDEETV.com. And coming up next, as we share more Michigan with the world, soda makers promise to cut calories by 20% by 2025. We're back on this day with more WDEE TV headline news. We broadcast from our studios in downtown Ypsilanti, Michigan. We are sharing Michigan with the world at your fingertips on the internet. Our next story comes from USA Today and writer Bruce Horovitz. Now imagine the nation's beverage behemoths essentially asking folks to drink fewer sugar soft drinks, not more. On Tuesday, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, Dr. Pepper, the Snapple Group came close to that by announcing a shared goal to reduce the number of beverage calories consumed per person nationally by 20% by 2025. This move, announced at the Clinton Global Initiative, does not reduce the actual calories in a 12-ounce can of conventional soda, which is about 150 calories. Instead, the beverage companies pledged to take specific actions to reduce soft drink calorie consumption, like selling smaller portion sizes and increasing promotion of products such as bottled water. The companies jointly pledged to provide calorie counts and promote calorie awareness on the vending machine, fountain dispenser, and retail coolers level that they control nationwide. This is the single largest voluntary effort by an industry to help fight obesity and leverages our company's greatest strengths in marketing, innovation, and distribution, said Susan Neely, the CEO of the American Beverage Association, the industry's trade group, in a statement. She continued, "This initiative will help transform the beverage landscape in America." This action comes at a time when the beverage industry sales of most carbonated soft drinks, both sugared and artificially sweetened, have been falling. Sales of non-diet soda have fallen by 15% since 1998, and more recently, sales of diet soft drinks have also begun to decline. These declines have nudged the beverage makers to begin to produce other kinds of lower-calorie products and more water options. At the same time, the beverage giants face a threat of voter or legislative action if they don't take some concrete steps themselves to reduce calories. On November 4th, voters in San Francisco and Berkeley, California will vote on whether to impose excise taxes on sugared drinks. More on this story can be found in our local news feeds link on our website at WDEETV.com. Coming up next, our fourth headline news story. Ypsilanti's Tap Room is ranked as one of the best neighborhood bars in the state of Michigan.
At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free. Morgan Taylor is located at 133 West Michigan Avenue in Ypsilanti. Clothing and accessories for men, women, and children at Morgan Taylor. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 734-221-0296. Ask about layaways and in-store financing. At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free.
WDEE TV Headline News continues, coming to you from our studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and thanks to Morgan Taylor and Discover Ypsilanti, our sponsors. And our next story comes from the Ypsilanti Courier. No writer byline was given. The Tap Room in Ypsilanti, a longtime fixture downtown at the corner of Michigan and Washington, has been named the 3rd best neighborhood bar according to an MLive report. Owners Brian and wife Lisa have operated the bar since 1994 and feature an eclectic menu of traditional American bar food and drinks. The building where the Tap Room is located was constructed in the 1840s and lives on a stretch of downtown that has seen many businesses close, reopen, and then close again. Other Washtenaw County bars included in that list were the Ott Bar in Ann Arbor and Fraser's Pub on the outskirts. More on this story can be found in our local news feeds link on our website at WDEETV.com. Coming up next, the Huron Valley Harmonizers will perform at the Spotted Dog Winery in Saline. Hello once again, Michael G. Nastos reporting for WDEE TV Headline News, coming to you from our studios in Ypsilanti, and our fifth of our top 5 stories today comes from the Saline reporter and writer Crystal Elliott. If you prefer a glass of wine with your music, the Huron Valley Harmonizers have the perfect event in store for you. The a cappella group will be performing at Saline's Spotted Dog Winery. Barbershop singers will perform during a wine tasting at that winery at 1100 Woodland Drive East from 7 to 9 p.m. Saturday, October 4th. For $20, you'll get an intimate performance from the 15-man group as well as a sample of Spotted Dog's wines. Tickets can be purchased in advance at hvharmonizers.org. The event serves as one of the Harmonizers' annual fundraisers. The group has partnered with Spotted Dog for nearly a decade, bringing their music to wine lovers throughout the area and raising funds to continue to perform throughout the year. Drinking and singing usually goes well together, said William Stutz Jr., the assistant director for the Harmonizers. He continued, "We're very appreciative of our partnership with Spotted Dog to offer this sort of performance." Stutz said that the event differs from their typical concert performances because the setting is much more intimate at the wine tasting, and visitors will have the opportunity to hang out with one another throughout the evening. He continued, "We really want people to enjoy the music, but it's a place to mingle a little bit and have a good time and maybe meet some new people." More on this story can be found on our local news feeds link on our website online at WDEETV.com. Coming up next, the WDEE TV Music and Sports Report.
At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free. Morgan Taylor is located at 133 West Michigan Avenue in Ypsilanti. Clothing and accessories for men, women, and children at Morgan Taylor. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 734-221-0296. Ask about layaways and in-store financing. At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free.
This is WDEE TV Headline News, and our final story, it's about music and sports. We commemorate the passing of the great composer, arranger, orchestrator, band leader, and trumpeter, former Detroiter Gerald Wilson, who died Monday, September 8th at his longtime residence in Los Angeles. He was 96. In his early days, Wilson performed with Jimmy Lunsford. He wrote and arranged for pivotal jazz figures as Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Stan Kenton, and Dizzy Gillespie. He charted scores for pop tunes, film, and television, and recorded many of his own efforts in the past few years for the local Mack Avenue label. Wilson appeared several times at the Detroit Jazz Festival in recent appearances there, and I had the distinct pleasure of interviewing him in the Jazz Talk tent. I had a good time with that. His history in Detroit before moving to California in the 1950s speaks to the great legacy of born or bred performers here making worldwide impact. Born in Mississippi, he moved to Memphis, but at age 16, Gerald Wilson was in Detroit and made an immediate impression performing at the Plantation Club as a teenager while studying at the famed Cass Tech High School. After serving in the Navy, he worked for the Capitol and Mercury record labels in L.A., Wrote for such prominent singers as Sarah Vaughan, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Bobby Darin, Ray Charles, and Nancy Wilson. His biggest hits were the Kenton hit Intermission Riff and Viva Tirado, which was a top 40 chart buster for the band El Chicano in 1970. Gerald Wilson was nominated for 6 Grammys and was dubbed by the National Endowment for the Arts as a jazz master in 1990. He's survived by his son, guitarist Anthony Wilson, a prominent jazz player in his own right on guitar who has also won great acclaim as an arranger and composer. A book with worldwide impact has a local connection. Keith Ferguson, Texas blues bass, written by Detlef Schmidt, depicts the life and times of electric bass guitarist Keith Ferguson. Now, where James Jamerson of Motown Records fame, rock legend Jack Bruce, funk icon Larry Graham, or jazz fusion pioneer Stanley Clarke have their unique places in American music, Keith Ferguson is as important. Known for his work with the fabulous Thunderbirds, as well as performing with many blues greats, this biography of Ferguson features hundreds of never-before-published photographs and personal documents. Included are stories of his days in Houston and Austin, Texas, in California, and there is a complete discography included. The local angle is that Brighton's Cal Stone helped edit the text. Stone will travel to Austin in October for the official release of the book. In WDEE TV Headlines sports, yesterday afternoon, the Detroit Tigers clinched their 4th consecutive playoff berth. At the very least, one of 2 wild cards in Major League Baseball's American League. Justin Verlander's strong start and a winning RBI from Ian Kinsler capped off a 6-1 win over the Chicago White Sox at Comerica Park. The Tigers hold a 2-game lead over second-place Kansas City in the American League Central and start a 4-game series against Minnesota tonight. It's a big weekend for old-school drag racing. Milan Dragway hosts their annual Fall Nostalgia Classic Friday and Saturday with a twist. The Nostalgia Drag Racing League comes to town for their E.T. Genie Finals, the last stop on the 2014 5-race tour. Championships are on the line in their 4 classes, featuring many funny cars, altereds, and front-engine dragsters, quite a few of them using superchargers and some fueled by nitromethane. In addition to 4 Milan nostalgia classes for machines vintage 1989 and older, the Great Lakes Gasser Circuit will appear, as will Troy Martin's Autism Awareness Missing Pieces AA Nitro Fuel Altered, Great Lakes Funny Cars and Exhibition Runs, and 4 NDRL classes, a 7-second Index Pro class, a 7.5-second Pro class, a Pro Comp class with many indexes, and Pro Gas. Michigan racer Sam Patrick looks to take his 2nd consecutive Pro Gas crown. Many other vehicles will be in a car show, and there will be a substantial swap meet if you're looking for parts. The NDRL, now in its 4th year, runs a round of qualifying Friday night at Milan Dragway and more qualifying with eliminations taking place on Saturday. You can go online at milandragway.com or call 734-439-7368 for further information, and we'll see you at the drags. And that's WDEE TV Headline News for this Thursday, September 25th. 2014. I'm Michael G. Nastos reporting. So long, everybody. See you tomorrow.